Alright guys, it's Jerningham here. There's been an outbreak of coronavirus again in the UK. Cases in the UK have risen to 456 cases. It's different for every country. It's sort of bounced up a lot more. It may get up to probably a couple of thousand people may have it eventually in the UK, who knows. 6 people have died in the UK, as you know, and maybe a 7th person eventually. Nothing's come of light yet with the 7th person. Just a theory. Like I say, it's gone up to 456 coronaviruses. People got the illness. May go up to 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 2,000. You never know. It's very sad and saddening. This disease has got a hold on a lot of people, killed a lot of people around Italy, especially. Lots of people have died, hundreds. UK 6. Any other countries, I think, got less deaths, but anyway, I'm going to play the video and you all enjoy.
There are now 456 people testing positive for coronavirus. That's up from
19 cases in the UK.
People, so an increase of nearly 80 on the same point yesterday. Those figures from the Department of Health. And we can get more now from our health correspondent, Ashish Joshi, on those latest statistics. Ashish.
Yes, that's a rise in the number of people who've tested positive of 83. So the total figure at the moment is 456 positive cases. It was 373 yesterday, so up by 83. And the other critical figure in all of this, Adam, of course, the number of people who've died as a result of coronavirus remains at 6. That could well change, but as it stands at the moment, still the 6 people who've died for coronavirus.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people thought that they were going to cut interest rates at some point.
I don't know why it's just changed there. Just give me a minute, guys.
They might leave it until their official meeting, which was later on.
I mean, I think that was a short video.
A bit of a surprise.
And this is the other part of the video about rates and cuts. I don't know why that video was so short. Anyway, let's go back into the video.
In terms of the timing, it's very unusual to have an emergency cut that comes outside their normal.
And about emergency cuts as well. Worrying about cash, not bloody.
So on that front, it's dramatic. Also, the scale of it is dramatic. Normally, when they cut interest rates or move interest rates, it's by perhaps 1/4 of a percentage point each time, and this time around, obviously, 1/2 percentage point. It suggests they are really worried. This is a big move. It is obviously down to.
Everybody's worried about pissing tax.
Ever been in the past, down after the
people can't afford to pay tax.
EU referendum, they cut it.
But they want to rise the tax, make the richer richer, make the poorer poorer. In my opinion,
territory and.
As long as they've got money in their pockets, these politicians and people, they don't care about anyone else. To my opinion, I'm sure a lot of other people agree.
The fact that they have done this just as the Chancellor is about to announce a whole series of measures backs up something that we heard from both Mark Carney and Andrew Bailey, and that's the other kind of striking thing, Kate. Literally, this is the last week of Mark Carney's tenure as governor, so I imagine Andrew Bailey, who's the next governor as of next Monday, will have been involved in this decision as well. We're going to hear more about it at 9 o'clock. But they were both saying in their kind of testimony with the Treasury Select Committee last week that it was right to have some coordination between the central bank and the government when you're doing these measures.
So tired today, guys.
What this, I think, tells us,
sleep.
Is that there is going to be kind of potentially some big stuff in the budget later on today. The idea is to do a shock and awe set of measures. You've just had the monetary, and they've announced the interest rate cut before market open. That's the reason it's kind of early in the morning. And you now have the fiscal policy potentially coming along later in the form of the budget. And it just seems to suggest we're potentially going to have a more dramatic move from the government than I think people had expected. It follows in the wake of the Federal Reserve, the US central bank. They also cut interest rates just last week. And so I think the expectation was that they would cut, but this is perhaps bigger than expected and certainly earlier than expected. And as Tamara was saying, there's also measures to help small businesses, short-term kind of funding schemes, similar again to some of the stuff we saw in the financial crisis. But a very dramatic move, Kate, unexpected, an emergency move, and it suggests that both the bank and the government are kind of moving in lockstep at the moment to try to do whatever they can to prevent a recession and indeed an economic crisis.
But Ed, if it's a move that we weren't necessarily expecting at this time and 0.5% down, an emergency measure some might call it, how does that reassure the public? How does that not just make them even more anxious?
That's, I mean, it's a good question. That's always the dilemma with doing these things. I mean, you both need to reassure that you are kind of taking every step necessary, but you are also underlining the fact that this is, to some extent, an extreme move. This is a moment that is very unusual for a central bank to do this. The big question will be to see how people react. I mean, you were asking tomorrow a moment ago, how will people notice this? Well, this will affect your mortgage. If you have, obviously, a floating rate mortgage, it's suddenly a lot cheaper.
Bank of England cuts many interest rates to of 25%, those 7% too. Help tricks like economists discretion linked to COVID-19.
Mean that some businesses that might not have otherwise been able to survive just because they had short-term funding issues. The issue here, Kay, is it's not just about money, it's about time. It's about ensuring that businesses who have lots of
everybody needs to make a living, everybody needs to make money to survive and eat. Everybody needs money in this world. Money makes the world go round,
with employees potentially off sick.
as they say.
They
As
are
one would
facing
tell
an
me.
issue with needing time to pay bills. And that is
You all need
going
to pay for
I think,
everything,
the
bills.
tenor of a lot of the measures that we get from the bank. We've had
Time of the bloody month.
from the government later on. It's all about giving businesses and households time to kind of keep things ticking over until the disease has passed, hopefully in a kind of in a matter of 3 to 6 months' time. So, but it is a big move. There's no getting away from it. It's a big move. It's a very surprising move. And while I say we'd expected the bank to do something at some point, the nature of it coming on budget day just before the Chancellor is going to unveil a whole series of measures that will, the vast majority will be about coronavirus. It's a big move, and it underlines how important this day is and how concerned every wing of government is about coronavirus.
Well, that's Sky News, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. It's a bit short, I know, but I will be doing another video. Don't worry about that. And I shall catch you guys in the next video. Give it a like, give it a comment, share it with your friends, and hit the notification bell. You know it's true. See you later, guys. Peace.